Hi everyone, I'm Sanchit Batra. A very happy new year to all of you out there. And before I start, I must say it's apology time because it's been 6 to 7 months, if I'm not wrong, since I posted the last video. And in these 6 months, while I've done a lot of other stuff, I couldn't quite record a video. And why, you ask? Well, why is because there were two main things that always nagged me whenever I had to make a video. One, that I knew when it came to this channel, I had to stick to a particular field, right? I had to stick to a particular niche, and then I had to make videos about that. It's not that I could every time change the topic and make a video on something entirely new that my audience wasn't aware about. So that was one of the things that was nagging me, and I knew I wasn't an expert in like any field. And the other thing was that I knew that to make any video, I had to see for the arrangement, I had to see for the editing part, and a lot of other things that make the process of recording a video from the conception of the idea all the way to posting it on YouTube a very difficult process. But then in the last 6 months, while I've been doing other stuff such as programming, I have been trying some new things on the piano, I have been checking out new software on my laptop. But the most important and most fruitful thing that I have done is that I've compiled my 51 first poems, which means the first 51 poems that I've written, I've compiled them into a book which should be out by next week. Yes, you heard me right. I am publishing a book which will be out in the next week, and you guys will be the first ones to know about that. And in that book, I have put my first 51 poems uncut, which means it's not only those poems which are well written, but they are also those which are not as good, which are maybe naive, which are maybe weird, which are maybe those that I wrote when I was an absolute amateur and a beginner. But the reason that this I have written this book is that I want to show the world what a journey of a poet is. So you might be knowing that since the last 4 years I have been writing poetry. And my first poem wasn't all that good. What I want to do with this book is I want to show the world that when a poet starts, he does not need to write a good poem as soon as he begins, right? So this book shall guide any of you budding poets out there to see how it feels like to be a poet that has started from the absolute scratch level without anyone to guide him and taking only other poets as his inspiration, and how to move forward in your journey. So that's the gist of the entire book. I hope you will buy that and it will be of help to you. Now, a week ago, I had a crazy idea. I thought about those two problems which I mentioned in the beginning of the video that I always have in thinking of a video. And then here's the solution I found for them. The solution is one, I had to stick to a particular genre. What should it be? I thought that if I can write an entire book on poetry, that means I should be able to make videos regarding poems. But what? And that is what I want to share with you today. I am taking up a challenge. Yes, I am taking up a challenge, and the challenge is that every week I will be writing a poem, and that could be on any topic, that could be of any genre. I'm not sticking to any field in which people write poems, not necessarily funny, not necessarily slow, not necessarily fast paced. It could be any poem. I have to write a poem every week, and I have to share it with you via this YouTube channel. So I'll be recording a video where I'll be reading out the poem to you. I'll be describing what I as the poet want to say through those lines, and what my thought process was when I was writing the poem. So I'm basically taking that book and I'm taking it one step further and extending that journey. And the second problem that I always had, which I said that starting from the conception of the idea all the way to publishing the video, it is a very difficult process. Well, here's what I've thought. I've thought that I do have a tripod and I do have a brain to think, right? So what I'll be doing is I'll be recording a simple video where I'll be standing like this in front of a wall, and I'll be saying whatever I want regarding the poems and all, regarding the challenge that I have taken. And I'll not be worrying a lot about the editing part. I'll not be worrying a lot about all the other things that YouTubers often have to worry about when they're making video. I'll be making uncut, unedited, normal videos, And maybe, just maybe, as we move through the process and as I become more consistent, starting to post a video once every week, maybe the quality of the videos starts to increase. Maybe I learn about maintaining a YouTube channel throughout the way, and maybe you as budding poets, maybe you as maybe poets who are more experienced than me, you can guide me throughout the process and we can learn together. Like it's a process where we are learning as a community. And if you want to join me in the challenge, if you also want to take this channel and take your writing literature hobby to a next level, you can do that. I'll be dropping a hashtag in the description down below, and on any of the social media platforms, wherever you are, you can write a poem. It could be in a doc format, it could be in a PDF format, it could even be an image of the normal handwritten paper, and you could post it out on social media with that hashtag, and I'll try to read as many of them as possible. I'll try to take them as my inspirations, and the ones that I find good enough to share, I'll be sharing them in my video. I'll be telling that these are the poems that I received in this week and these are worth mentioning. And basically, it won't necessarily be the best poems, it would be the poems that are worth sharing. So they might have a particular quirk to them, they might have a particular feature to them, a feature that I really like and I think that everyone out there should know. So I'm taking up this challenge, and if you are ready to me, make sure you use the hashtag. And to be notified of all the upcoming videos I'll be posting regarding this challenge that I have taken, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and see you next week. Thank you.